pull this one out.
Yeah, I mean, it's really ridiculous how far this game has come that people have been playing for like less than a year are getting to the point where they're averaging a star a minute.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, yeah, we should star per minute counter as we are off here between BobT0ad and Sefaro here. So the first thing you're going to see here, of course, is the famous Lucky 2 skip. And this is something at this level, sometimes people hit it, sometimes people don't. It's a good little gauge to see how they're feeling today, I always say.
Yeah, we didn't see too many misses before, but the last time I did one of these events, it was the Sleep 16 Invitational, which means it was the best of the best, right? So it's going to be actually interesting seeing which of those standard kind of moves that we really didn't see anyone mess up, maybe for an entire weekend, what happens in an open, right, where the times are a little slower. I say slower again; they're still breakneck speed for someone like me, but it's going to be interesting to see which things you can't take for granted anymore. It's just happening perfectly every time.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a big difference for you, track. You're gonna see like they're taking a different route. They're doing a lot of different things to, they're still getting their speed up as BobT0ad does hit it beautifully. Sefaro close behind.
No!
Like he wants to have a quick chat here as BobT0ad gets the early lead.
He's even frowning on our behalf. That's very considerate. It's like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And if you're a betting man, of course, BobT0ad here has a little bit of a better PB, but we're not Vegas here. We're here to have some fun. We'd love to see an upset here, which that would be, I think, if Sefaro pulls it out. But Sefaro fans, I want to hear you. Get angry at me, that's totally fine.
Are you a betting man? Do you want me to give you odds on this one?
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take some action.
Yeah. We'll come up with a little side bet or something.
The
Super Bowl's coming up, and you know how the mayors of the different cities always bet something that their city is famous for. Philadelphia bets cheesesteaks or something. You and I got to come up with something here.
Definitely. If we see Sefaro here missing the first bomb clip here, going to give another shot. There it is again, exploding in there. Going to take the alternate route here. Going back through it. Let's see if he can get it on try number 3.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned BobT0ad, slightly better personal best, and that's, in some of these cases, these players are relatively new, not as well known, and so the personal best is kind of what we look to for guidance as to their overall skill level. It's a little reductive, a little simplistic, but, we do what we can with the information we have, and there's a lot of runners out there these days, because this game is very popular for speedrunning, possibly the speedrun game out there. And the personal best so far does seem to be guiding us the right way, because BobT0ad really cruising here.
Yep, missed Candlelist, but no big deal. You get the backup star right there for you. And yeah, we should talk about it since, I've only had my only experience, esports is the game Spy Party that Warning Track knows, legendary commentator for Spy Party. The first time I played a match of Spy Party online, there was maybe, I don't know, 10 people watching or something. And I thought, I was like, what am I doing? Why is my heart beating so fast? Because it goes to a different level, and I'm sure these players are feeling that too. So little early game jitters are just expected.
Absolutely, and you don't need to know. You don't need to look at the viewer count either, knowing that anyone at all is watching. And in some cases, if it's smaller, I mean, if there's 10 people in there, guess what? You're gonna hear from all 10 of them. And in some ways, it can be a lot worse. Some people have said, talking to a room full of people is a lot harder than talking to an auditorium full of them. And I think, for runners, it might be a similar kind of thing. The mere fact that you're being broadcast is reason enough, because this is tough stuff.
Yeah. I still remember that time. I was like, I was playing and playing fine. I was like, wait, I got to take a second. What am I doing here? Why is my heart pumping out of my chest? And it was just crazy. I mean, I'll never forget that moment that esports can give. So yeah, if you want to join any game, it's a lot of fun for sure. As BobT0ad here sneaks his way in there. BobT0ad looking very strong here.
Yeah, I mean, you said earlier missed cannon list, but the backup went perfectly smooth, and not hitting cannon list in this kind of format, not really a big deal at all. I mean, he's reacting to failures really well, and I think that's kind of what you want to look for here, especially at this general level, right, where the personal bests are in the, they say, top 200, top 400, something like that, as opposed to the top 10. Mistakes are going to be made then. The question is, how do they respond to them? Does the game kind of fall apart? Do they get frustrated, or do they recover quickly? And so far, BobT0ad recovering very quickly.
For sure. So let's see if he can keep this up. This strong start here. Got to be feeling good, of course. How's it going? I love people mentioning us in the chat. How's it going, Castro98? Nice to see you there. We know you're there. We love you. Thanks so much for joining us for this round 1 matchup. Of course, this is one of the last round 1 matchups we have for you here. Just a few left to clean up before we get to round 2. This is going to be a 5-round event, again, to get to the main event and play against some of the biggest names in Super Mario 64 history, I think it's safe to say.
I think that's safe to say. Absolutely. Well, so, it looked for a second there, if you're looking at the screen there, that they were at the exact same point in the run, but you realize there's some decisions about which stars to go for and when. Actually, BobT0ad up 1, even though they're basically at the exact same point in the run, it looks like. So that's a pretty big star at this point in the game, and there he is, almost almost perfect on the 6th there, and a few struggles with the platforming there from Sefaro too. So we're definitely seeing the difference in polish, although it's a small one.
Yes, and nice to see him picking it up there. Oh yeah, 3 rounds. Okay, got it. Sefaro coming in hot with the rules clarification there for the commentator that might get fired after this match because of that failure. That is correct. 3 rounds, then we go to the top 8. Got it.
It's an odd number. You're close enough. You're one odd number off is the way I look at it. See, this is the star that BobT0ad picked up about 3 or 4 minutes ago, right? That's when we were talking about how they were cruising. It's the same one. They're doing a little out of order. Just kind of depends on whether or not they hit that cannon list, whether or not they want to go for it at all. You know, I mean, there are more choices to be made here. When you're talking about going for like a world record or it's like a sub 15 or something insane like that, there really aren't that many things to choose. There are not that many choices to be made because you pretty much have to go with the fastest option in each case, but you absolutely do not have to here. There is a lot more decision making for these runners in this format than you might have seen in past events.
Let's see how BobT0ad can handle this sliding of the penguin, returning it back to his mother. That is happy. That was looking pretty smooth here. BobT0ad, very impressive so far. Sefaro again, 1 star back here. About to be 2, as I say that.
Yeah, let's say 1.5, right? He's down 2 for a few seconds, but this is one of the easier stars for even mid-tier runners. You just don't see him mess it up very often. Although I could never get it right personally when I played as a kid. I remember every time I discovered one of those, oh, you can fall off during the race and land down lower, I felt like a genius. But now it doesn't even register for these guys.
Yep. And as we can see, Sefaro here, his sliding going okay, and clutches it out as well.
Even quicker, I think.
I think he gained a little bit of time here. I don't want to get too optimistic here, but Sefaro oh, booty burn from BobT0ad. Makes the recovery, though.
Yep, right back, doesn't lose it too much, doesn't fall off. That's the main thing. Hell, you gain a little speed maybe even. I don't even know if it's a problem, but still about a star up. I mean, I know they have the same number, right? But he started this one a lot earlier, and this is a the running here is looking like 15 quality, at least here in the Dark World.
All right, wow. Warning track, very bullish here on BobT0ad stocks. We love to see it.
He took a slightly safer route right there, and I don't blame him, right? You know, we've definitely seen some more conservative decision-making, and I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way to go. No huge mistakes is what you're looking for here.
Definitely. That should always be the goal. We don't need to see the swag. Let's see consistent. Consistency is key here in these first-round matchups, as BobT0ad does get the 8th star and the 8th coin, and then the star and as well. All right, here we go. Bowser throws are always fun. A great equalizer of this game. One of the great features of this game is the Bowser throws. It's a feature, not a bug for sure, because you can see some crazy things, but BobT0ad says no craziness today, right down the middle.
I mean, other than the LBLJs, yes, definitely the big equalizer. I would say this is the second equalizer, if I had to pick.
For sure, yeah. BLJs are the big one. Of course, in this way, the first big divergence of the last event was we don't do LBLJs here. This is a little too difficult. You see all our runners kind of skip that first LBLJ, but they do the BLJs. Yes. Synonyms galore.
Right, yes. That's right. They don't do the whole lobby skip thing, but
yeah.
And I get it. They don't want to take that kind of chance, but it's still, they're going to have to do the BLJs at some point. You can't avoid it, and that has definitely been, anecdotally, one of the biggest differences between like top runners and very, very good runners, right, is how consistently they hit that. Even some of the top runners don't hit it that consistently. I feel like that is if I can only see a runner do one thing to determine their skill level, that's what I'd want to see.
Yeah, that's one of those things where once you get to that level, I mean, that determines world records now. I mean, you know, you can't have to have a world record now. You can't have any. You can little tiny hiccups. I mean, you can't have any mistakes. Tiny hiccups, and then you have to have great BLJs, and that's what it takes. That's why it's hard to get world records, you know?
I mean, when it's this hard fought, it's going to be a mix of like skill and luck. And the luck part is going to be, does that little button press catch perfectly or not? And obviously there's a major skill element, but sometimes it seems a little random too. It's so minute. We're talking about milliseconds here.
And but the top people, they all say that too. There is some luck to it. It's like your job is to reduce that RNG as much as possible, you know, to do it as consistently as you can mechanically, and then just poke at him, you know. But there's some people that seem to do it better. That is true. I've seen like some people just do it better, but it's I don't know why, you know.
Let's see. We're going for Shy Guy list here? No, of course not.
Just a bop. And he claps the
We'll
bird
take
here.
it. It's fine. We don't need to save that kind of time here. And yeah, look, despite it being called speedrunning, it's not really like a race. It's a little more like poker. You know, you get your money in with the best hand. You got a 65% chance of winning, and that's kind of what you got to take with some of these maneuvers.
Oh, BobT0ad missing that sidewall kick there. Let's see if he can get on the second attempt. This is very, obviously, everyone listening knows this, very difficult. Second attempt and in. Some people at this level don't even attempt that, so BobT0ad does and gets it.
You can see the stars a little out of order here. This is the one BobT0ad here on the right, Sefaro on the right, rather. BobT0ad got that on the left just about a minute ago. So they actually are pretty close. I think what's interesting is that we're basically looking like the gap has been narrowed enough that if BobT0ad has one bad fall near the end, we could be neck and neck.
Or he misses a few throws, right? I mean, that's the key point.
He misses a few throws, and the BLJs don't catch. I mean, God knows we've seen it. So this is a little closer than it looks, and it's getting closer over time. I think Sefaro definitely started a little slow, but has picked up the pace since.
All right, BobT0ad now in HMC. A little fun down here in the basement. It's there fine. The MIPS clip is another kind of... The top level MIPS clip is kind of very consistent. This is another level MIPS clip can be a bit of a bottleneck. We'll see how that turns out for both these runners.
It's a good point. Yeah, once you get above a certain level, you really don't see too many issues with it. It'll be super fast or pretty fast, but it can definitely give other runners trouble. We did get run over by a boulder there.
Yeah, it's like you see it's super smooth. One or two hiccups, or throw your controller out the window. That's the levels.
I mean, that's the recovery I was talking about, right? Like, they're gonna make mistakes. How quick do they recover?
But Sefaro, a little bit, door opened a little bit here. Let's see how he can handle this same star, different star that we just saw BobT0ad do.
And look at that. Seconds after he falls 2 stars behind, gets right back to 1. This is kind of where we've been for the last 5 or 6 minutes at least. He's roughly kept pace or slightly gained, but it's only a second here, a second there. Here comes some nips, though. Let's see what happens. Ooh, BobT0ad, nice and quick.
Yep, that was a nice grab. Here's the hard part, though. Can he sneak him through that door? Let's see. He looks so consistent with everything else. Let's see. Looks pretty good. He kicks out, not in there, net. We decide to walk through the door. A little bit of a hiccup here. Door. I hear a door opening. I hear a door opening, both visually and symbolically.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically. That's what I want.
You know what I like about this? Nips doesn't run away after this happens. It's like you've just totally broken his spirit.
He
could just run, and you catch him again, but he's like, no, it's over.
All right, well, now Sefaro has definitely caught up, my friends.
Yes.
It's much closer than it once was. Sefaro, though, needs to grab of the slippery bunny.
Missed him. These are precious, precious seconds, though.
Yes.
That was an opening, and he has not quite taken it here yet. And he could have just as much trouble. This is a big moment.
Here we go, Sefaro here. How long does it take?
Got it in 1.
Yes, he's in. All right. We'll see. BobT0ad, though, swimming along here pretty smoothly. Let's see. By Sefaro now, this one always turns a little bit smoother for everybody, and then he's in. Here we go. We got a race, though. We definitely have a race.
He definitely made up some time there. He could have made up more, and, you know, the nip clip wasn't super fast, but it only took the 1 attempt. You know, he got it right the first time. It's going to be back sub for BobT0ad. I would expect that pretty much all.
Bopping! What's that thing called? I could never figure it out. That thing proving very large there, bopping there. Not as smooth as it could have been. Sefaro, though, making the swim as well. Top of a submarine, chat. What is that called? I had the same problem in a different race I did. I could not think of it. I looked it up even. Now I can't remember it. Just getting up there.
It's not the periscope, right? It's the part that's always
there. It's not the periscope. The part that's always there. I want to say fin, right? Fin sounds very animal.
It sounds like something someone would say if they didn't know and they were making up.
Exactly. Sefaro, though, takes a wide berth around that fin and gets the star. BobT0ad having a bit of a trouble here.
BobT0ad is flying through here. I mean, it's actually quite close. There's like a 30 or 40-second difference here, so it is still just the 1 fall. And BobT0ad, when you've given him space in kind of these Bowser areas, he's been particularly good. He's looked like, again, like sub-15 level pace on some of these, in these open areas in particular.
Booty bird there. And another to get up.
More to spare. Gotta be careful now.
Yeah, that camera action he chose was very, very interesting. I mean, that seems like making it harder on himself, but a lot of runners have different ways to look at the camera, so he clearly knows what he's doing. But wow, that was a tough camera for me. But it worked. He got in there. Now here we got other Bowser throws for our enjoyment. This is the one you do not want to miss.
Yes. I mean, we are at the point. Look at this. Look at Sefaro here. We're basically a throw and a half behind if he misses them.
That one looks pretty true, and it is. All right, Sefaro's turn. Can he be as confident as BobT0ad just was? You do not want to miss this throw. The most punishing of throws to miss.
This is a pretty decent little pace here for both of them. I mean, they're just a little over 15 here.
Oh no, just a bit outside for Sefaro.
Oh no.
That is unfortunate here. This is why you do not want to miss this one. This game was getting closer and closer, but that might have sealed the deal. We'll see, though. We still got something left that is 3 letters long, and we'll see how that goes on BobT0ad's side.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is now you're at the mercy of your opponent, right? You need them to make a mistake, and that's not the place you want to be. You want to control your own destiny whenever possible.
So here we go. BobT0ad. It's time to show us what he gets. Looks pretty good. Didn't quite catch it at the end. Yep.
This is what Sefaro needs.
And in. Okay, that was very acceptable for BobT0ad there. Popped on the wall, but no big deal. Sefaro's turn. What can he show us?
I feel like at this stage in the tournament, if you offered any of these guys, you're gonna get it on your second attempt. They'd say deal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, and got it again. Wow.
Very good on that one.
Very bad news for Sefaro. That was absolutely the place he was most likely to make up that time.
All right, Sefaro fans are now definitely hoping for a fall here in the Bowser in the Sky. And he's having a bit of trouble here, trying to make that work.
This has clearly been BobT0ad's strength, though. I mean, all these open areas, you know, all the Olympic-style Mario running, like, this seems to be his strong suit.
All right, Sefaro here does get through there. Got to do it one more time, though, and he's running out of time to do it. As you're right, BobT0ad does look confident at these levels.
This is his strength, yes. I mean, he's been pretty good throughout, but, like, I would say his movement, when he's actually got some space to move around in, so to speak, has been exceptional.
All right, and he's in 3 more throws, and BobT0ad will be our victor here, but we'll see. He's got to hit those bombs with those 3 throws.
Yeah, he's going to have to miss quite a few. He's got a lot of misses built up here. Sefaro, though, pretty good at LPJs. Like, gets through real quick, but he just didn't make... Oh, there's the miss! Okay. I mean, okay, 2 more, and I'm going to get excited.
Okay. There's one.
There's one.
Yeah, that one looks pretty good. There's his first hit. Mathematics, with a name like that, I do trust you. He says 4 or 5 throws... 4 or 5 missed throws required for this one to come back.
That sounds about right, yeah.
It's about there. And Sefaro here taking a little bit of a lunch break here on this stage. Not that I make it happen. BobT0ad does take the first game here of this match. So what do we learn? We learned that BobT0ad is pretty good on the platforming side of Mario 64, which is a pretty good thing to be good at, if you ask me. But
yeah, I would say so. I would not have guessed that their personal best was mid-16s based on some of that movement. But we did see, second LBJ catches, pretty good. Sefaro basically matched him there, but that miss earlier, it just gave away too much there. And just generally, the movement was not as fast at any, like Dark World, any of it.
Yeah, I would say Sefaro had a rough start, right? If he didn't have the rough start, it'd be a much different game here. And that rough start kind of sent Sefaro down a dark path here of maybe not playing his best. We'll see. Another miss here. Sefaro, though, better take this practice. I'm not sure if he knows he's lost or not. But just to take for practice, it's always good.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make a few more throws in the next game, so might as well get him in now. Get a nice practice in, and there it is. He does finish it. And we shall see what happens in game number 2. BobT0ad has one very important marble in his marble box. He only needs one more.
I think you keep marbles in a bag, although, I don't know, am I showing my age there a little bit? It's been a while.
It's very cultural. Depends on where you're from.
That's a good point. I'm sure somewhere they keep them in little boxes rather than little bags. Yeah. I'm actually not sure I even know how to play marbles. So before that miss there at the end from Sefaro, it was about a 30 to 40 second gap. That's not bad. It just shows you how thin these margins, can be. And you really can't afford any more. It's that quick. Best of 3 means he's already playing for his tournament life.
Yeah. Yep, and remember the bomb in the beginning of the first level was a little bit tough. So I think that if you take that away, that's a whole different ballgame. But we'll see. Hopefully he makes it happen now. That's what you need. You need him to hit Lakitu skip. That'd be the first step. That's the first step for Sefaro fans here. Hit Lakitu skip. That's what
that
it takes.
actually was a bad omen, wasn't it? Immediately, you know, you missed the very first skip while your opponent doesn't, and you end up losing by less than a minute. So, you know, it really is just not going to take much. And, you know, as casters, I should point out, we don't have a rooting interest here except hype. So we're kind of hoping to go all three, right?
Yes, I always bet on that. I always bet all in on that for sure. So we'll see here. As we see, Lakitu skip, very important. Sefaro, get back on track here. Here we go. Can he make it happen? BobT0ad made it happen in game 1. Now it's Sefaro's turn. Sefaro fans hoping their competitor can make it happen.
So psychologically, I always, when I'm ever doing anything like this at all, if I make a mistake like that, like missing the bomb skip a couple times, right? When I come back to it the next time, I tense up just a little bit more. Right? It might not be harder than the other things I'm trying to do, but I have it in the back of my mind that I just messed it up. And I don't want it to become a habit. And that can be a big part of this too, is you need to make these things as routine as possible. You want as much muscle memory as possible. You don't want to be thinking about them. You want it to happen second nature as much as you can. And that's a key part of it. And there's Sefaro again. You can see he's just coming at it from too far from the right again, is what's happening.
He's coming at it, very weird angle he takes there, very straight on. You see BobT0ad takes him, I thought his way was almost too far left, but he really just hugs that left side and gets it. But Sefaro again, not the starts he wants, but he's got another chance to redeem himself on that mental side of things here with this nice bomb clip here. Let's see if he can make it happen. As we see BobT0ad look confident last game, and not this time. There you go. A little bit of a door opening here. Sefaro's turn now. Let's watch it. Oh, BobT0ad hitting another bomb here. Attempt number 2.
We're seconds apart now because of that. And, blows up in his face, quite literally and metaphorically, as you said earlier.
and symbolically. And
there
Sefaro,
ground pound.
Out of pure jubilance, ground pounds for no reason. And look at the difference here. Just a few scant seconds.
We are neck and neck, but one of these runners can afford to lose this, and the other cannot.
Yes, that is a very important note. BobT0ad here shouldn't be too tense yet. A lot of the race left, and he knows he has one in his pocket here. One marble, should I say, in his box.
One marble to trade. We're gonna make this analogy work at some point. I don't know. We might have to explain all the rules of marbles on stream, but it's gonna happen.
We'll make a podcast, a paste spin later about that, the rules of marbles for all the fans out there. But let's see here. We are entering the next part of this run. Bomb's Fortress is our playground here. And Cannonless first try. Not the first try for BobT0ad. No big deal. He got the back up. Sefaro getting in there very confidently. Looking good here. BobT0ad, a little bit of a miss on that wall kick. BobT0ad showing some nerves maybe. We'll see.
A little. Missed Cannonless last time too and recovered pretty much the same way, although last time it was perfectly smooth up that wall. So just a half a second, but boy, that's about the margin, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice owless there from Sefaro. We do have a race here. See, Sefaro's going to give Cannonless a shot here, looks like. More calculated attempt here.
Yep, doing the slow version, the way it used to be, before runners got absolutely ridiculous about it.
Yeah, now it's just, don't even line up anything, just do it somehow, and I've never gotten that in my life. Yeah.
Look at the sync on these two. Look at the hat go on at almost the exact same time. This is something. This is what we live for right here.
Yes. Hype has been provided by the hype gods. We got to enjoy it while we can here. Now we can see the difference in movement. That's what I love about syncs, right? You can really see the difference in movement. Of course, they're going for different stars now. BobT0ad going for his. Cannonless did not make it happen. Has to go all the way back up.
All the way back because he already used his backup plan the last time he missed it.
Let's see if he takes the more calculated route here. Yes, he does. Taking that calculated route. Sefaro chose to take first. Didn't get it that time either. Oh, no.
It really hurts to take the slow route and still have it not go.
Yes. Here we go. Here. BobT0ad lining it up, and he gets it that time. But he's lost. He's a star behind, a quick star for sure, but still behind.
There we go, very close. You know, how about instead of marbles, how about pogs? I know they're both old references, but I feel like that's slightly more modern.
Okay, we'll move it up a few years there.
I mean, it is the modern marbles. I think in both games, you literally get the thing just to win more of the thing, and then you play again with it. It's kind of circular.
Yeah,
you try to win pogs to play pogs with, and you try to win marbles to play more marbles with. And it's kind of a brilliant business strategy when you think about it.
Exactly.
Another ground pound from Sefaro.
Those jubilant ground pounds with the star just right there, ready to be grabbed. Sefaro cannot help himself. He's just too happy with his performance so far.
Just so excited.
And he is confidently in the lead here.
Yeah, and I think it's a mix, right? BobT0ad is definitely making a few more mistakes, but Sefaro's also making fewer. It's not just one or the other right now. I think Sefaro definitely looking sharper, but BobT0ad was just, his first 4 or 5 stars last time, very few mistakes. There was a cannonless he recovered from immediately, but everything else went perfectly smooth, and he got it right afterwards, so no issues there. But he's just looking a little more human this time, and it turns out that when he's not, playing perfectly in those early stars, these two runners are about even. What do you know?
Yep. Sefaro having a little bit of difficulty on the steps here. Castle movement sometimes overlooked, right? You don't really try to practice castle movement. You get into the level and try to do the individual stars. You really practice that, but sometimes you don't practice castle movement as much as when you're in actual level. That's what at least that's what I'm like. And I definitely suffer from that because you do have to practice the in-castle movement, right? It's not a different part of the game. It's still the game,
Yeah, no, it still counts. It's not something you can overlook, right? When you take things for granted, that's when you make mistakes very often. Case in point, Sefaro plummets to his death.
As we see the lead swing to BobT0ad's side here. Just slightly, though. He still has to get this star, though, to take advantage of this lead here.
It's not done perfectly, but he's not dead, so we'll take it.
He's in there. BobT0ad pulling out all the stops. Serafo here. We've seen a few mistakes. Okay, coming out hot here. Yeah, that was pretty hype. Right there, Sefaro. Thought he might be farther behind than that, but that nice wall kick action there, keeping this lead of BobT0ad very, very slim.
What you can see is that, the difference between, best runners in the world and these guys, it's not just raw ability. They can really do something special now and then. It's just stringing it together. It's just how often they do it. But they have it in them to do that, and it's just that rote consistency. And by the way, that can be part of the reason that one mistake can spiral, because, you miss one jump and suddenly the cycle is out, right? The platforms are in different places, the enemies are in different places, and all your muscle memory has abandoned you now. So one mistake can become 5 just like that.
We are very close. We haven't mentioned it yet, so I should mention it. This, of course, these matches, this whole thing is brought to you by Urban Arts here. So thanks so much for them for making this happen. Of course, you can always type !UA in the chat to see more information about all the great stuff they do. The stuff would not happen without them. So thanks so much for their support.
Yeah, helping the next generation of game developers. 91% of their students come from low-income neighborhoods. Remarkable number. Boy, these two are real close.
Yeah, look at this. BobT0ad looking like he was going to booty bird, but he avoided it. Sefaro is now getting his first red star, but they were just 2 red stars apart now, so pretty close. Couldn't ask for much closer of a race here, as we are 7 minutes in, about halfway, a little bit earlier than halfway in this one.
Well, if BobT0ad keeps moving like this, it could be halfway.
Yeah, that would be pretty high.
We've seen some real smooth movement from BobT0ad, especially in the first run. A little less this time, but this is he just looks confident here. This is where he's in his element. Sefaro is taking fewer chances too, and I think that's the way to go. I think you need to kind of bet that at some point your opponent's going to make a few more mistakes, and that's what's happened so far. But if they don't, it's all over.
Yeah. BobT0ad has definitely been practicing these levels. I can say that he moves very confidently, and on these, it's just. He knows which way he wants to go, and he does it, where you might see Sefaro kind of, not as straight in his lines here.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning.
Yep. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, a little circuitous now and then. We've seen it with Lakitu, right? He kind of takes this big wide turn to the right, and it's cost him twice. I just hope it doesn't cost him in the end, because if he loses by just a few seconds, we're all going to say, of course, a lot of different things contributed to it, but we're going to say it's the Lakitu skip.
Yeah, as he does. They both get their throws in the first try there, so we are still less than 10 seconds apart here, or something like that.
I love it.
BobT0ad with the jubilation ground pound for no reason there. Love to see it.
He just figured it's fair, Sefaro's done that a few times.
Mathematics coming in hot. The official timer of GSA is Mathematics today. 12 seconds apart here is the official count from Mathematics.
I like that we can just say Mathematics says, and they're not going to realize we're talking about a person.
Yeah.
According to Mathematics.
I've done all the
Diversity of the
calculations.
concept. Yeah. Oh, we fail to enter a wall that you can enter from almost any point.
That happens rarely, but yeah, it
Yes.
is a little bit of a bop when it happens. Yeah.
I mean, how hard is this game? It's like literally run into a wall. That's all you have to do. No, can't do it.
It can happen. And
I make
Bob
fun, but I
making-
would totally do that.
All right, Shy Guy bop into the bird. Looking pretty good so far. Not done yet, though. Overlooked is this how fast he makes this run happen.
Oh, BobT0ad again. That time it's a corner. The architecture giving him trouble.
I'm telling you, castle movement, undervalued part of the game. Harry Potter jokes always appreciated here in the 16-star open.
You've got the right audience, for sure.
Yes. All right. So we'll see shifting sandland for BobT0ad here. And the Sefaro enters right behind. As we see a sidekick cause a little problem here for BobT0ad, and it does again!
Oh.
Booty burned twice! He can stay alive, though. And he still has another shot. That is going to have to happen here, though. Going to get a death. Let's see.
Yes, this is... Oh, no.
Oh, booty burned!
That's the real risk. I mean,
Yes.
that you can actually die from it, right? Like, that is when it really falls apart. By the way, Mario, pretty tough guy. Burned by lava, all he does is lose his breath.
You respect. You gotta respect it
Yeah,
here. But
I mean, he's
Sefaro-
panting, but that's pretty
I'll
good.
tell
That's
you.
pretty good.
Sefaro fans are respecting the lead he now has, as BobT0ad does get it though in his first try in this next attempt. That is pretty good here. Sefaro in the lead now.
Wow. I mean, it's going back and forth. He had an early lead, fell behind just a little bit, but it's never been more than 30 seconds, I don't think, at any point here.
Are we going to see a game 3? I know chat wants to see a game 3. I know I want to see a game 3, but Sefaro has to decide if we get to see a game 3 here. And he looks like he wants it as well.
I think there's one person here who doesn't want to see a game 3, and they're on the left.
yes. And his name is BobT0ad. Maybe his fans in the chat are getting angry at us, but we want to see the most hype match possible, my friends. So hopefully we get there. 20 seconds apart. The official timekeeper does state mathematics, of course, is our timekeeper today. 20 seconds apart. This has been a pendulum of a match here. Sefaro here with the 20-second lead at the moment. Let's see. Sefaro, wall kick here. Work out perfectly.
Well, if this is a pendulum, then they were just in the pit, weren't they?
Yes.
There we go.
Right.
I didn't think I would make a reference older than the game of marbles, but I just did somehow.
You never know what you're going to find when you got Sefaro confidently grabbing the slippery bunny here. That looked much better than game 1. And he has no problem. Very confident. Let's see if he can make the clip happen, though. That's the important part. Here we go.
Oh, he's extending his lead to BobT0ad. Fails to hit that platform and hits his face on the ground.
Fighting his way out of the pit, and he eventually succumbs. Sefaro, though, is he going to take advantage? Yes, he does. Not the smoothest, but very fine at this point in time. We see Sefaro making his second clip here. This one's always a bit easier, and he makes it happen.
This is really good for Sefaro. BobT0ad, that was absolutely painful to watch. You could see him sliding down. He could not escape the event horizon of that black hole.
Now, if you're BobT0ad now, you have to be pretty confident you're behind. Let's see if that changes how he plays here. Does he take a few more risks? Does he get a little more sloppy, which can also happen? We'll see, though, because I think if you've made the kind of mistakes in succession as he did, you kind of know you're behind here. Comeback starts with a great rabbit grab, but let's see if it happens.
Not bad. But he's got to clip right through. Yeah, he has no more opportunities. And now it's Sefaro who needs to make the mistake for this to be a match again.
Yes. For sure, BobT0ad.
But you're right. They need that sense, right? They need to know, okay, how likely is it that I'm ahead or behind in this run? You know, based on what my opponent has done generally, what they did maybe in the first one. You need to have that. You need to take more chances. You need to actually risk screwing up and losing by more, because in this format, who cares? You lose by 1 second, you lose by 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Either way, the match is tied.
BobT0ad with a going for the clip here. Missed it. That's a high level strat right there. He went for it. Did not hit it though. You can't clip through there. And just as you mentioned, you know, he knew he was behind, said, I'm going to go for this, you know?
Yeah,
And
he didn't go for the
work
first
out,
time. Neither runner did, and I wouldn't expect anyone to on the first run, really, unless they're having a really bad run. But I think that actually shows that he's thinking exactly what you just said. He's thinking, I'm pretty sure I'm behind, and I need to take some chances, and if I lose by a little more, I don't really care. You know, this is my only way of getting back into this.
Now, Sefaro, on the other hand, unless they're watching each other's streams, of course, it's their prerogative to do that or not. I wonder what he's feeling right now. He might be feeling he's behind still. He might not know at all because, you know, BobT0ad does have a pretty significant better PB than him. So he's just, you know, got to be putting on the line here, got to be playing confident. Don't want to play too safe, of course, but don't want to be too dangerous either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's putting up a pretty similar overall time to last time at the moment. A little quicker, maybe. So I think he's got to think this is probably at least competitive. As for checking out each other's streams and, you know, their prerogative, yeah, I mean, I think on 70 you're going to get that a lot, right? But on 16, who can afford it?
Yeah, I remember Sefaro had difficulty with this throw in particular. Let's see if he can make it. That looked like a great level for him, though. Let's see if he can finish it off with a nice Bowser throw. He cannot, unfortunately, for Sefaro fans. This proves to be a tough throw for him.
This is, well, the nice thing is, at least now he's right next to it. Really hard to miss this one twice.
And he doesn't.
I mean, we've seen it, but rarely.
Yeah. BobT0ad is not doing the smoothest of levels here either. It seems to be, the train is still on the rails, but it's starting to wobble as he has been behind now. We'll see, though. Confident on this left side, jumps.
And he's not down by a lot. I mean, Sefaro has a few mistakes to play with. Another miss or two even might be okay, but not a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. See if BobT0ad here. It's closer. Yeah, it seemed like Sefaro was kind of pulling ahead a little bit, but it's not that much of a difference here. This is definitely anyone's game. Yeah. Oh, let's see.
That gave back. Oh, and BobT0ad matches the miss. That'll help.
Just a little limp on the throw there, and that will definitely help Sefaro's case as Sefaro fans erupt here in the GSA arena. And there it is. Let's see if Sefaro can get this BLJ though. And he does.
Wow, that's huge. Absolutely huge for Sefaro.
Really good. Nice. Really good. No problems there. Now is the time to seize the win. With BobT0ad, what's the difference here? We need to get our mathematics man to tell us the difference here. Can't be much.
If Sefaro hits this, that's it doesn't quite lock it up for him, but it's really close.
Oh, that looked pretty good. Angle a little bit tough there. It's gonna go. Give it another go here. Look like
precious seconds. There we go. That looks good. Yep.
Almost a slam dunk. Not quite though, but he's very happy with that. As we go to Bowser in the sky. Just needs to avoid the big mistake, right? This is where you might want to play. I mean, if you knew where you stood in this race, you might want to play a little bit conservatively, but Sefaro is on a mission right now.
I mean, I think after a couple of those mistakes there, he might be thinking the opposite. He could reasonably think that he's ahead by a little bit, which he is, or behind by a little bit, or even a moderate amount, given how BobT0ad played last time. So unless he's checking, you could really make an argument either way. He really might not have any idea, which leaves him kind of in between. You know, how many chances do I take? It's kind of just a guess. Uh-oh!
No, that's what we have to avoid, though. Still, BobT0ad just made his BLJ, though, so we'll see.
Still ahead, but not by much now.
Not by much anymore. Not by much anymore. Hype
this could be over.
Come to us in a way we did not expect, maybe just 40 seconds ago, but here it is. Very tight race here.
I mean, you ask me right now what the margin's going to be, I'll say it's less than 40 seconds. Yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. There we go. That catches. That's hits it in two. That was a big one.
Very close, yeah.
Oh, boy. I mean, now it could come down to who makes a Bowser miss and who doesn't, right?
Oh, yeah, we could be out there. Let's see, Sefaro getting in there. Wind playing a big factor here, a little bit more than you like, but he gets in there, and he's in there at 18:33. Let's see when BobT0ad enters. Don't need a miss from Sefaro for sure. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3, but you need a miss for sure.
Wind playing a factor like this was Mario Golf.
And
that was like a good throw.
Pretty good. Yep, that was right down the middle for that one. And a great grab back. Let's see, second throw here, right on the money. Look at that.
Not happening again. Here we go. Chance to clinch.
Get outside! He's going to need to miss one more, though, I think.
He's still got the margin.
BobT0ad does hit his. Here we go.
Boy, we're so close. It's right there. It's right there.
It's right there. It's a bit outside. BobT0ad misses as well. What is going to happen here? One more throw.
He was right next to the bomb.
Look at this sync on these throws. BobT0ad hits it. Sefaro hits it.
Oh, God. If they don't mess up now, are you kidding me? Is it really going to go down this way? Is he going to lose by a second?
It might
no.
who can grab the star faster.
Oh my
Who
God.
wants more? And it is BobT0ad grabbing that star by milliseconds. We're gonna retime it though, of course. We're gonna retime that. That was
Yes.
very, very close. Luckily for the viewers, this was we're gonna Sarah behind the scenes tech.
Yeah, give it a
Sarah,
minute.
give us
Yep.
the intel here of what actually happened on the timer side of things. We can't ask mathematics to do everything. It's not even on the payroll. So we need to figure this out ourselves.
We can't use mathematics. We have to use mathematics with a small m.
Yeah.
That was nuts. If BobT0ad actually clinches this, and that means the difference easily was a missed Bowser throw right next to the bomb. And it's funny, while he was swinging around, I thought to myself, I mentioned earlier, right, that when you miss, he ends up right next to the bomb, or can at least. And usually it's an easy throw. And one of the reasons it's an easy throw is because you can throw it with no force behind it, because he's right there. So you can throw it while he's still spinning around very slowly. Sefaro did something very strange that confused me. He let him build up a ton of speed. He did that twice. And it worked the second time, but I remember thinking, why are you spinning around 4 or 5 times? You can do it on the first or the second because you're right there, and it's easier too.
Yeah, I know all people in chat that play this game. You know how that goes. It's just such a you're so nervous to let it go. You know that Sefaro. You can see that happen. You're just nervous to let it go, and he just should have let it go. And another thing worth mentioning, we kind of built up the story a little bit here. We're gonna complete this story. Hey, Lucky to skip, right? If he hit,
oh my God.
We're not
I
even
didn't
in
realize. I was kidding. I said if he loses by a second, we're gonna say it's the Lakitu skip. I didn't think it was gonna actually happen.
Yeah. So that was pretty intense. We are getting the final numbers here in my earpiece. That is the final times. It is a 1 second difference, and BobT0ad is gonna take home the victory and go to round 2, but not without an epic fight from Sefaro. So no problem with that race. Awesome effort from both players. It was an epic one.
Oh man, I mean, it's a little heartbreaking, right? I mean, it feels a little better because that wasn't the third, that wasn't for the whole thing. Sefaro still had to win again after that, but I mean, talk about close skill level. That was ridiculously epic. And you're right, you want to build up a little speed, you want to get that throw off. I've seen some people go 2 or 3 revolutions, but the difference between 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 is just massive. It's that much harder. It's just those tiny mistakes.
And that is the only match on GSA's docket today. And it was a good one to be on and good one to end on, good one to have for the day. So thanks so much for everyone in the chat. You got to see this. Oh, we're not ending yet. Get in the earpiece. What are we going to do for the content here, Sarah? Let me know. Oh, okay, we're still retiming though. Hold on, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're still retiming. The official timers backstage are still retiming things to find out if it actually is a BobT0ad victory. So wait a second here. Wait a moment.
I mean, I want to see the third match anyway, because these two look pretty evenly matched, and that was ridiculously close. So I want a little more. I feel unsatisfied, even if whatever happens in the third one, I really want to see it. Yes.
Just for... I mean, this is so close. It's something like if you're within a second, just do number 3 anyway, kind of, but we'll see. If it's tied to half a frame, great question. There's always a difference, right? We could retime it from the very beginning and just whatever decimal we have to go to, we'll go to find the winner.
I mean, if there's an actual frame tie, I believe they replay, if I remember the rules correctly.
So they've done that before.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy to happen. All right, we got to hold Owen Boo going. If it's tied, he's gifting us up for every minute. Wow, that would be pretty high. It's actually tied, so we got to hope for the tie now. Mess with those numbers back there to make it a tie. We're going to see, though, who pulled this one out.
Yeah, I want to remind everyone, raising money for urban arts. I like their slogan here. The quality of your education shouldn't depend on which neighborhood you grew up in. I think that's just a great way to think about it. There's a lot of talent out there in the world, but it's not in all the places you might first look. And they're looking in the places where you wouldn't normally. And they're finding a lot of exceptional young people there and giving them the tools they need to make the next generation of games. And hey, it's for a good cause, but we can think about this selfishly too. I want more games. I want different games than the kind of games I played before, and you do too, I'm sure. So, when you support this program, you get more games down the line.
For sure. Yep. And that's kind of the most important part of what they do, I think, is that, there's a lot of scholarships out there, and there's a lot of scholarships for all different kinds of people, but UA Urban Arts really targets the people that might not get that opportunity any other way. So that's really cool. And yeah, question here in the chat is the race really so close? Yes, it was. That close. Less than 1 second. Some are pontificating about, my friends. So if you got here a little late, you missed an epic one. But we might be doing game 3 here. It's not confirmed yet. We're still kind of working on that behind the scenes. So stay with us here.
Yeah, stay with us. You're going to see some more running either way, I believe. But the question is it going to be a fun exhibition, or is it going to be a white-knuckle tiebreaker?
Yes. Yes, these all get put on YouTube when they can, I'll say. It's not always the most timely fashion. There's a lot of stuff to put up, but it does get up eventually up there.
Yeah, right after the Giant Marbles tournament. We're going to start putting up tomorrow.
That's coming up next, so get ready for that.
That's next. You definitely want to sub for that. You know, we joke about marbles, but I don't know if you've seen, they have these little marble race simulators that people do on stream sometimes to kill time.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. That's definitely a market for that, for sure. Who knew, right?
Yeah, who knew? I mean, we're using all this technology to simulate marbles rolling down a hill, you know?
But if your favorite streamer will say your name, it might be worth it. Running track. It might really be worth it.
That's a good point. Man, that was nuts. I mean, again, I was totally kidding, being totally facetious when I said if he loses by 1 second, it's going to be because of the Lakitu skip, or we're going to say it's because of the Lakitu skip. Now I admit I was lying. I'm not going to say that because that's not fair. Because, I mean, this is the thing, right? It's almost 20 minutes. You can take anything they did that wasn't perfect, literally any one thing, and flip it, and you flip the outcome. So it's like, where do you start, right? I mean, I guess you can say Lakitu because in theory, every runner should have the most practice with the Lakitu skip because every single run, they try to do it. Every time you reset, you try it again. If you fail, you reset. If you go through, you did it. It's the only thing you do every single run, unless for some reason you're messing up before you even run to the bridge, in which case you have bigger problems and you're probably not in this event. So that's why it feels the most significant, not just because it's first, but because being first, you've done it more than any other thing in this game.
Yeah. And I think if it does turn out that BobT0ad did get that second win there, Sefaro's going to put in some time to make sure he doesn't miss it next time for sure. Because
I mean, it's not that you're going to play too many matches where that second matters. It's just that it feels like it should be free. It's one of the few things that you should be able to grind and get down second nature. There's no cycles to worry about. You know, there's no enemies. There's no platforms moving around. It's the same every time, and that's the kind of thing you can build up muscle memory for and have become second nature. I know you're still going to miss everything occasionally, but it should be vanishingly small. If it happens twice in a row, there's a problem.
All right, so we had some action here on the screen, though. Need to confirm what we are going to be seeing here, what happened in the second game here. Give me a moment here. Yep. Okay, so update from the earpiece here. Sefaro, right now, we're going to check it. I mean, we're going to check it again. But right now, it looks like he lost by 0.2 seconds. All right, 0.2 seconds. Mathematics, you called it right on the nose there, by the way. 0.2 seconds was the difference. Right now, though, we're going to retime it, but we're just going to play game 3 anyway. They always play it anyway, just in case something like this happens. So we're lucky to have that here. Track.
My God.
Sefaro, Lakitu skip. Is it going to happen this time? What's your guess here?
Don't put me on the spot, man. I don't know. I think so. I think it should. I think it should too. If hype is gonna reign supreme here, we need that to happen. I mean, I'm at the point where, like, if he hits it, I'm gonna lose my mind. You know, and people coming in late are gonna wonder, why is he freaking out about Lakitu skip?
All right, so yeah, it was not a tie. It was a win for BobT0ad there, 0.2 seconds. Of course, we're gonna retime it, but it seemed to be that way. BobT0ad again taking his very left route and getting it, and Sefaro here taking that straight on route again.
Yeah!
There it is. Nice to see that one. That's what he was trying to do all those times. He takes this straight route and then jumps left at that final jump, and BobT0ad just takes more of a left start there. Either way, it clearly works, but we are into the first stage at just about the same time.
Do they even need to finish it at this point? I mean, it's all downhill now. Sefaro can just coast the rest of the way on their clean Lakitu skip.
Yep. Now here's the caused problems with both runners last game. This bomb clip here, BobT0ad. Oh, very angrily very aggressively taking the bomb in there. No problem there. Sefaro, not again.
No,
It's not been smooth for him yet in this match.
I think he got it the second time. It was BobT0ad who messed it up the second one, but this is 1 out of 3 then for Sefaro, and BobT0ad, you know, 2 for 3. There's the difference right there too. And no angry ground pound right afterwards either.
Yes. That's worth mentioning too. I mean, we could keep going to the turning points of the game number 2.
Well,
but if you
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
We're making jokes about the ground pounds. He had what, 4 or 5? That's a second. That's easily
that's 0.2
seconds.
Yeah, that's definitely 0.2 seconds. So blame it on the ground pounds, blame it on the Lakitu skip, whatever you want. Sefaro fans are hoping that retime turns fruitful for them. As we see BobT0ad here, he's going to go for the Candleless first, as he seems to always do.
Hasn't hit it yet.
Does not get it there, but a nice backup is there for him. Hits his wall kick. Last game was not the smoothest, and it isn't again here.
He has not hit Candleless on the first try in any of these 3 runs, and I think got it in the second on the second run. It's just giving a little bit of trouble. And like you say, he's got that backup, but last time he missed it again when he had no backup, and that's when he really started to lose time, and that's when Sefaro started to pull away. We know he just barely gave it back at the end of the match, but the reason Sefaro was in the lead for so long was largely because of the Candleless problems.
Yeah, Sefaro always going for that Owless Star second, it appears. You know, again, this first level, you can do a little bit different order than you're, you know, you're left to your own devices to choose the order of this first level. Later in the game, it doesn't get like that. You kind of set in your path here. Sefaro does take the safe route again for the star, as it seems to always do.
I mean, the logic basically here is if you think you're going to miss it once, do the safe route, and, you know, it comes out something close to even. So if you think you have a better than a 50% chance of hitting Cannonless the first time, do it. Otherwise, take the safe route. Oh, there's a fall for BobT0ad.
Yeah, not too smooth of a start here for BobT0ad. But we're still very early days here.
That's the first time he's missed that one.
And let's see if Sefaro can grab the bull by the horns here. BobT0ad has been a little bit sloppy, safe to say so far.
Bull by the horns, slab by the band-aid, whatever.
Oh, okay. Nice. Appreciate the effort. BobT0ad sliding down the hill here. Getting his way up there. Let's see how quick a work he makes of this guy himself.
I mean, I haven't seen them make any mistakes on the Womp yet.
Nah, Womp's kind of a...
Oh, speaking of the devil, it wasn't perfect.
We can make anything happen if you say it, right?
I mean, the caster's curse has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's been pretty bad today, I gotta admit.
Yeah, we can make anything happen. Just say it. Say it won't happen. There's the jubilant ground pound from Sefaro. Taking the tough route up this hill, but he does get up there.
Yeah, that was kind of like that's like walking up one of those escalators that's going down at the same time, you know?
Yeah, there's a few stars we can see that, you know, as you watch these, you see a few stars that they need to clean up a little bit. Sefaro definitely needs to work on that tower star, I would say. Hasn't been very smooth all day. We see BobT0ad, I was going to say make quick work of it, but he also fouls it up a bit.
Just a little, but the platforming, BobT0ad's platforming has generally been faster and smoother, for sure. He's taken more high-risk maneuvers, though, and that occasionally means that when he's made mistakes, they have been bigger mistakes. He just hasn't made quite enough of them. He almost made enough of them in the last round, of course, but not quite.
Yep.
Boy, this is really close. So after Sefaro's really rough start to the first round, I mean, you got to say now for basically 1 run and a half, they've been basically identical in terms of total time. They've been really even since then.
Yep.
I mean, that slow start, you don't want to say it's like over right away, right? But when you look back, you got to realize that's the only point. The first 5 or 6 minutes of the first run was the only point at which they were not roughly evenly matched.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And a lot of this, you know, in this open 16-star open, it's kind of like the NFL. People say most games are lost, not won, and that kind of is the case here too. Most of these matches are lost, not won, by people just making more mistakes than the other player. And this, I can't say that's been the case for this match so far. Of course, some mistakes have definitely, you know, made a big difference, but it's just about who can put all the, you know, put the stars together, right? Get nice stars in a row. When I say nice star, I mean, you know, smooth stars, right? And BobT0ad, it's got a little bit of momentum here. Sefaro, though, right behind him. This is about as close as we could hope for.
I mean, forget symbolic momentum. There's the literal momentum, too. They're flying down that hill. Does it bother anyone else that she's not looking for the kid, by the way? Like, she's just sitting there. I hope a magical Italian plumber shows up and saves my child.
It's cold. I mean,
She's a penguin. Come on. Come on. She doesn't look really interested. She's just sitting there. Someone will come along and save my kid. Don't worry about it. Too real? Too real.
Bowser in the Dark World here. One of the levels that Trackless is mentioning, BobT0ad really seems to have a good handle on.
Yeah.
Grabbing these 8 red coins here. Has the backups. He knows exactly where he wants to go.
Yeah, and it's a real pleasure to watch BobT0ad move through these kinds of levels right here. You can see he's just got this pretty much down. Of course, as soon as I say that, guess what's coming. But just in general, I mean, look, there have been mistakes, but his play in these open areas has been harder to distinguish from a top player than his movement everywhere else, right? Like I'm seeing like a good 20 or 30 seconds at a time where he looks exactly like a world record holder might.
Yeah, it's every move with a purpose, knows what he's doing. Of course, as soon as I say that, bops into that pipe. We have some dissension here. We have another person that wants to take the job of timekeeper here. Leglambo saying we had 11-second difference here. Mathematics, you gonna let that stand?
You can't argue with the math. No, unless the math is a person, in which case you absolutely can.
First Bowser throw here, just a bit out. So, no, he gets it. I thought it was a little bit wide, but nope. BobT0ad says, shut your mouth. Commentator.
Those are the worst. The ones they let go and you're like, oh, I don't know. This is right on the line, right?
Looked a bit limp and wide, but he gets it. Sefaro here. Can he answer back with a smooth throw? Here we go. If he misses
I mean, he's one whole Bowser behind, right? Like one's finishing up Bowser, the other's right there. I mean, that is 20, 30 seconds, maybe tops, with no misses. No, not maybe. I mean, this is neck and neck again. This is something. And Sefaro, even if they get the retime, even if they say it's over, it would be really nice to go out of here with a clean win, though.
Yes. Sefaro fans want that as well, I think. Great performance so far. Put in a lot of work. Anyone that's in this tournament has played this game for a long time, grinded a lot of hours. I can guarantee you of that. So it's good to get a win under your belt,
Mm-hmm. I mean, and yeah, hey, we might be critiquing, here, this is a mistake, that is a mistake. Let me be clear. Both of these players would demolish me.
Yeah, it's easy. Let me tell you how many times easier it is to say someone made a mistake than to not make that mistake yourself. So we definitely understand the difficulty of what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, these are still among the best in the world. Every time I say best of the best, I'm talking like top 5 in the world, right? And the difference between them and these guys is what, a couple of minutes spread out over an entire run, and not just that, of course, but the consistency too, right? Like, yeah, it's remarkable.
Here's a moment here for BobT0ad. A little bit of trouble so far on this. Gets it on the first try here. Wants to take home game number 3 for sure. Very smooth there.
So in the live time attacks, we often say, like, first couple runs, who cares? But you can't reset here. So it kind of makes sense that around the 3rd run, we're seeing these runners get a little more comfortable, that they're warming up. If this were a different event entirely, this would be the part where maybe they start to hit their stride.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Format matters, people. Format matters a lot. And the choices you make based on the format matter a lot.
Definitely. It's not just about playing fast, but thinking what you're doing. Booty burns galore here on BobT0ad's side. He did a very swag entrance into this level, and he has not recovered here. But there it is. He gets it safely in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the coins are red, and so's the backside at this point, I think.
Yeah. BobT0ad not afraid. Yeah, the fireball did hit him there. Rare sight. The fireball hitting Mario there. Let's see Sefaro here. He can... Yeah, see, a little bit too, like, as you're watching, guys, again, this is a very, very small critique here, but Sefaro's taking very rounded runs there. If he has something to improve for Sefaro there, just clean up those runs around those red coins. You don't want to take too far of a round circle, and you can see that as you watch. I've seen this run 100 times, you've seen how the difference is how you can take those paths, and it's all part of the, every speedrun is 1,000 instances of little tiny optimizations like that.
And risk-taking, right? Like some of them, and sometimes it's about humility. Sometimes a runner says, look, I'm getting pretty good, but I'm still not good enough to take that chance consistently, so I'm going to play it safe. And when they get better, they start taking the chance more, and you really do kind of have to know yourself a little bit and know what your chances are.
All right, so I've got an update for us here, folks, about the second game of this epic match happening right now. It is getting officially retimed as we speak. We should have the results by the end of this one, okay? So we will be able to tell you the results at the end of this Gabe, that is not a tease to make you stay here, by the way. It is the absolute truth. So we will give you the updates at the end of this match. So you just have to stay for the rest of this.
The fact that it'll make you stay here is just a bonus. It's not why we're doing it. But yeah, we got someone in the back going full Zapruder film, frame by frame.
Yes, he's got the tape out. He's taking the film, the scissors. As we got to grab this bunny here. BobT0ad missed it. First time he's missed it. Wasn't too bad, though.
Not too bad. What matters more is whether or not you get through the wall clean afterwards. But now that basically, that's a few seconds. And, well, we have a very, very recent reminder that a few seconds can be the difference and then some.
Ooh, BobT0ad make it up, though.
Very fast.
There, yeah.
Sefaro is just behind. Behind.
Not as confident, so neck and neck here. Great grab, though. That's what he needed. Great grab. Now it's about the clip. Let's see. BobT0ad, does he go for the chip clip here?
I wouldn't think so.
No, you're right. He says, nah. No,
okay.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Just cut this one as tight as possible.
Actually, I still think that was one of the cooler moments of the match, is that BobT0ad sensed that he was behind and went for the chip clip. It just shows a really good awareness, and I was just talking about that humility, that understanding where you are at the match, and not just thinking, well, I'm the best, or I can always do it, or I should always take the chance, or whatever. I'm definitely ahead. Yeah, I need to have some humility about where you are as a player and where you are in the match, and it's going to help you make better decisions. And BobT0ad didn't hit the chip clip before, but he was right to go for it.
Yep. Yeah, so it's a little bit larger than a neck and neck here. We're looking at maybe a giraffe neck and neck here. How many minutes is it here?
How big is the neck? Well done.
It was a giraffe neck and neck here. BobT0ad, a little bit of a comfortable lead opening up here as we are entering the end of this run here. Fire C time, where BobT0ad really shines again. You keep saying it, but it's true. As I say it, he bops it. Bobs very confidently into that stone here.
He does, but everything before the bop was very smooth.
Another bop. Just endless bops here. This is not
we're falling apart. Oh, no. 3 bops and you're out.
Yep. If this was a closer
Literally,
match,
you're unconscious after 3 of them. I think that would be fair if Mario hit his head a 3rd time and you just had to sleep it off. How many fingers am I holding up, Mario?
I'm not sure what cycle he's going to get on this one, but he's making it happen. If this was a closer match, that would be important. Kicking the wall for fun. Still does not get booty burn, though. Yeah, pole glitch happened. That's very worth mentioning.
At this point, I think BobT0ad's got a full callus on that end of him.
All right, Sefaro made a little time here, for sure.
Definitely.
But he's still behind.
These misses. You need a miss here. You need a miss, or you're going to need some BLJs to go very, very wrong. And BobT0ad has been really good at them so far. It's been interesting. I thought we'd see way more issues with the LBJs, but they haven't really bothered either player too much.
Yeah, BLJ has not been a really deciding factor of any of these matches, which I think is a good thing. A bound of jubilation from Sefaro here. This is almost his patented move here.
Yeah, he's not too far behind. About a full Bowser, so to speak.
Yep.
And there were no misses there. That was, again, one of the big openings BobT0ad could have given him, but did not. And now we're where we were in the first round, which is you're behind and you need some help. You could play perfect from here on out, and it's probably not going to be enough unless BobT0ad gives you that opening.
See if Sefaro had a little bit of trouble here with this throw in the earlier game. And that one looked pretty confident there, though. And we're in the BLJ time.
Here we go. And fail 1.
A little bit too high up on those stairs for that one.
I mean, you better hope now that he's callous down there, given what he's trying to do now. This might be worse than the lava, right? Uh-oh, 0 for 2.
Possible, still possible. Still possible.
He sure seemed to think so. I think you got to abandon this. Come on, start over. Some cost fallacy, everybody.
Yeah, I didn't have enough speed there to get through that one. He's going to give it attempt number 3 here.
I mean, you say neck and neck, how about butt and butt, man? Here they go. This is where they are.
Ooh, okay. Now, this is what Sefaro fans needed, and it's happening.
No! Wow, that looked like it caught. It looked like it caught for BobT0ad, but it didn't quite get there, and now we are both on the stairs.
Now we are on neck and neck right here. This is neck and neck, my friends. Whoever said that earlier.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Just BLJ failures left and right, by which I mean the left and right sides of your screen.
This does happen sometimes.
What a weird thing to be cheering for and watching. Like, if someone didn't know what this was, they'd think, what on earth am I looking at?
the jump up the stairs game. It's very hot now on Switch.
And 2 people being really excited about it, too.
Oh my god, he almost got it!
Oh my god! Oh, there it is! Sefaro's go first!
Oh, BobT0ad right behind though, my friend. Look at that, it was very close. Door entrance, almost. Oh, we are synced. This is what we want. Well, we got another round of BLJs. Let's not get too excited. Let's see what happens here.
It's like quantum superposition with these two. They just can't get too far from each other.
Sefaro, not yet. BobT0ad, there it is. Oh, come on, Sefaro. Get it, get it. We want a tight race here.
Catch. Oh no, he just missed it.
I thought he had that. He gets a slow one, but he does get it. It's very slow though. BobT0ad in his element here with a few second lead.
He had the speed for it twice, but it's kind of slammed into the wall and then lost a couple of times. But he had the speed, he had the catch. Oh, one fall or one missed throw.
Needs to beat BobT0ad his own game though, as BobT0ad loves these levels. You really see the skill come out of these levels here. And as I said again, he takes a long fall all the way down to the pimps of Mario Hell here. Sefaro, the door is now wide open.
He's still got the lead.
Yeah,
I mean, he fell only half the board, right? Like that's the big saving grace here. But he gave back half of that advantage within seconds.
Commentator's curse is very, very hot right now, and Sefaro takes another fall. This is going to be close. Yes.
That's 2 now. Oh, this is so close.
Yeah, they both read the script perfectly, and they're following the script exactly as we wrote it today. It's really turning out to be very good. And Sefaro again having problems. Is this going to be the ultimate fall? It is! He joins the previous version of BobT0ad's Mario in the pits of Mario Hell. BobT0ad now, the door is now open on him for his side.
Yeah, and he hits it, and he's not had nearly as much trouble with that. He kind of took it slow there. I don't know if he knows where he is at this match. He can't be super happy with how he's played, but we know that he's actually potentially on his way to a sweep or possibly a clinching victory in the 3rd round. We're going to find out on the retime.
Jumping over the pipe and everything. He's in there though now, taking a very precipitous route into the pipe here, and he just needs 3 throws here. The first one looks good. He's going to have to miss a few now, Sefaro fans, and I think you know that here.
Yeah. I mean, that advantage. Sefaro had a significant lead for all of 10 seconds and just gave it right back. And here's their 4th attempt, and they finally get it after it doesn't really matter anymore. That's a shame.
Yeah, BobT0ad here will take the victory in whatever happened. 2 now. We know BobT0ad is the victor of this match, which we still will give you the results for, hopefully. Got to get it as soon as I know, you will know. But let's watch Sefaro finish this game.
Yeah, and the toughest run of the day for both runners, obviously, but still very close to each other. This one you do have to say, though, Sefaro had basically 3 tries to keep it. Look, if they get up on the first time, they're well ahead. If they get up on the second time, they've got maybe 1 throw to spare. And they get up on the 3rd, they're neck and neck again. Mm-hmm. And it took the 4th, and that's the story of the game.
Yeah, and they both, if either of them did just an okay Bowser in the Sky, they would be the victor here.
Yeah.
But both had some difficulties. As can happen, and Sefaro here does get his last throw there. 1929 for BobT0ad here. You'd think Sefaro, if he heard that time, I know he would think, I could beat that, right? That's just something I think he'd feel confident he'd get a better time than that. Does not make it happen. And that's why esports competitions are fun, because you never know what's going to happen. Sefaro with a 20 minutes and 24-second time. So, yeah, I guess the BLJs were started on that little hype train there to the end. It was a very fun end to that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We came into this saying, like, BLJs, that's going to be the big difference for runners of this general experience level and caliber and all that. And a little bit at the end, but those were not the things the matches really turned on for the most part. It was other stuff entirely. It was basic platforming stuff a lot. And, well, depending on how you want to look at it, maybe Lakitu skips.
Yep. And it comes back to Lakitu skips again. And I'm going to try to stall for the results here. If I could get any notice here in my earpiece here of that second game, the fans, they deserve to hear it now. Teased it at them long enough. Can we please let them know the results here? They stayed with us all this time. They deserve it. All right, got the update. We are still still checking, right? They're still in the lab. taking out the tape with the frames. They're doing everything they can to get that time to you as soon as possible. I'm going to ask backstage, should we stay on and chat with these beautiful people until we have the time, or should we just say, hey, we'll let you know on Twitter? Please let me know. Management,
Yeah, I mean,
staff,
the difference is between a sweep for BobT0ad or a narrow victory. And I mean, if you're Sefaro, on one hand, you'd love to have that one little win in the middle, but also then it would mean that bumping your head at the end there actually cost you the entire match and not just the one run. And I don't know what I'd be hoping for then. Maybe it's one of those, I'm okay not knowing kind of things.
Yeah. All right, we gotta. It's gonna take about 5 minutes, and I'm okay with staying on. Warning track.
Yeah.
Are you okay with staying in this booth with me for 5 more minutes? I think we can handle it.
I can tolerate you for 5 more minutes. Yeah, absolutely. But
yeah.
no, I mean, I want to emphasize that, BobT0ad felt clearly better in that first run and clearly about the same in the other two. The second and third were very, very close, and it only took one mistake in either of those rounds, really, to change the outcome. The first was the only one that really made a big difference, and it could be something as simple. I don't want to speculate too much because I don't know, but it could be one of those things where maybe one of these players was just a little more warmed up than the other, which is why BobT0ad's first 5 minutes in the first run were significantly better. It might not be. Sometimes that's not the case, but sometimes, preparation is the whole thing, and that the person who's warming up beforehand maybe starts an hour early, something like that, so when the first run goes, they're already ready to go. That can make the difference in this kind of format where there's so little margin for error. It's not a best of 5, it's a best of 3.
Yep. And as looking forward here, as BobT0ad will, no matter the results of game number 2, BobT0ad will move on. He's going to face Mini here in round number 2. And a reminder, this is 3 rounds to decide who joins those, more seasoned players that are a little bit higher up on the leaderboards. And that will definitely be hype coming at you in a few weeks of this 16-star open, right? Anyone could have got in this, just need a good PB, and we are seeing how hype of matches, this tournament can make, because that was pretty hype. They can't all be that good, but I wish they could, because if they were, I'd be commentating every single one.
Yeah, they can't all be that good, but I tell you what, they can all be that exciting because they can be unpredictable. I mean, as much as I love watching the best players in the world do their thing, it can get boring sometimes because there are certain things they always hit or almost always hit. And it's either you see a boring thing happen for the 1000th time, or you feel really bad for them because they messed up something easy. It's kind of like lose-lose, right? There can be a boringness to perfection, even though it's very inspiring too. Whereas, these runners who've been running for a year, their personal best a couple minutes slower, their runs are really interesting. They make different choices. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know which things are safe and which things aren't. So I actually find these a little more enjoyable sometimes. And that's true for a lot of sports, a lot of esports, is that sometimes watching the intermediates is the most entertaining thing.
Yeah, definitely. And it's refreshing to, especially, I mean, this format lends itself to that too. You can't reset, but so many times when you're watching people grind for world records, it's like the smallest thing, they're like, all right, reset. It's like, that wasn't that big a deal, but, I kind of want to see where that run was going. Yeah. Suiji's he's notorious for that. And he got
famous for it.
Screen looks at him the wrong way. He's resetting. So it's difficult as you see the results there on your screen now. Just a few more matches left to see who is going to enter the main event here of this great tournament.
I'm picking out a couple names here. Bedronius. I think they were in the Eon Flux tournament that I cast about a month and a half ago. Yeah, Bedronius. I think they were. I think if I'm not misremembering. So, more than one esport here.
Yeah, I think you casted with him maybe in the casting booth. Bedronius there.
I think that too. I could be both. It could be both. But I'm like, I know that name. I tell you one name we definitely know is Electric there. You could see around the middle of your screen towards the bottom right. I think we both cast with Electric, a co-caster and a really good player. And as you can see, scored his own little victory there.
Another name I see that I recognize is legendary mathematician Mathematics in the tournament with a win. Congratulations, Mathematics, on that.
Well, that one has an
round
X.
victory.
I don't know. It could be the same person. It could be a different misspelling. Who knows, right? Sometimes the username's not available.
Congratulations on that. Yeah, if that is you, of course, I should say. Yep, it is him. So he is not only a great timer of speedruns, he's a great player of speedruns. So yes, you should be practicing right now and not spending your time with us as we wait for these results. You might be playing now. Who knows?
Practice your Lakitu skip. Go just
yes.
Start
if you don't
right
get
now.
That one, there you go.
Yeah.
So
we're minutes away from getting the final time on this. We're going to see whether or not this is a 2-0 or a 2-1. We're not going to call it a 3-0 because that's not how this works. If it turns out, the third match will have never happened if it turns out that the retime holds, right?
Yeah. So hopefully there's no recounts, there's no nonsense at the polls. We get the results and we're done. We'll see. Hopefully that happens. Biggest upset so far in the tournament? Great question that I don't know the answer of, but our backstage crew might be able to inform me of that. We'll hopefully get the answer to that as well, because it's tough though. I mean, what does upset mean, right? Biggest PB difference that overcomes that to win? I'm not sure.
Right, and a lot of these players, they're just not as well known yet. Some of them are going to become well known from events like this. You know, that's kind of the fun thing I like about this kind of hybrid thing. It's an open, which means technically if you join and you do well enough, you can go the distance. But obviously, if your personal best is good enough, you're already kind of seeded into the later rounds of the event, and that makes sense. But it also means that when you do something like that, almost always you get one or two people who weren't very well known when they started, who kind of make a name for themselves over the course of the tournament, make a little run. Maybe they don't win it, but maybe they give, let's say, an established player a really tough go of it. Or maybe they score one big upset and then people know their name. I mean, you're seeing all these names on this screen here. At least one of these is something you're probably going to remember going forward. But which one's it going to be? Who's going to step up? Who's taking the leap in this event?
And let me see here. Yep. And still waiting here on those results. I don't believe I said biggest PP, but I could have. It's very close. PB and PP sound very similar in the right time of day.
I know. You just talk quick like me. That's all. I'm just enjoying the usernames because, you know, usernames can always be pretty silly, but I feel like the farther down we go on the leaderboards, the sillier the names get. Peas and beans. Why not?
There you go. Yeah, that's a good combination.
A lot of food names. A lot of food names on the previous screen in particular.
I was had a good conversation to asking. Someone said, "What's the fastest way to get like a lot of viewers in speedrunning?" Right? You want to have a lot of viewers on your Twitch stream. What's the fastest way? And someone answered, "Get a world record in one of the top Mario games." And I was like, you know, that's true, but is that? I don't know how easy that is. Right? Is that easier than grinding to, you know, play whatever game you want to play and get viewers naturally over years of building, or is it get the world record? That also takes years of time. So it's an interesting thought experiment. You know, what is easier?
that 4-year overnight success story, as they like to say. You know, right? No, I mean, look, there's a difference between easiest and simplest. Obviously, being really good at the game, that's the simplest. It involves getting good at one thing. But the easiest, not so much. I mean, as far as I can tell, the way you get famous on stream is to completely overreact to every failure and success that happens.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget, am I getting the results of my year here? Did I hear it correctly? Oh, not yet. Yes, we're checking all the sprites to make sure there was no nonsense with the sprites, and there was no nonsense with the starting time, the versions. We're checking everything. Okay. Oh. Okay, the results are in. Hold on to your hats, folks. BobT0ad was the winner by 0.1 seconds. So there you go. We have the payoff. 0.1 seconds. BobT0ad the winner, and he won all 3 games.
Wow. 2 of them very, very close. One of them so close that we literally just found out how it ended. 0.1 seconds. Forget Lakitu skips and ground pounds. How about he blinked one time too many?
Yes. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to for sure. But yeah, mathematics coming in 3 frames. 0.1 seconds is 3 frames, my friends. And that is how close this tournament can be. So Warning Track, nice to cast with you. Chat, thanks for being here with us. Any final thoughts, Warning Track, on life, gaming, Mario, anything you want, the floor is yours.
Life, my God. Just that every little bit counts. You never know. You never know when you're going to run away with it. You never know when it's going to be 3 frames, and that's why you give it your all. And that's why it's a pleasure to cast this event, and always, of course, to cast with you and Saren and the others.
Thank you so much, guys. Once again, this is all brought to you by the Urban Arts. It was so nice of them to, sponsor this whole thing. It makes it happen. That's why we're all here. So go check that out. !UA in chat if you want to learn more about that. A lot more matches coming at you. Tomorrow we got more stuff going on. Check the schedule. Thanks to everyone making this happen. Thanks to chat. Thanks to the runners, BobT0ad and Sefaro. We'll see you next time.